Alan, you've seen Secret Invasion?
Yeah.
Alan has seen the
Did you see it? Didn't you say you saw it?
Guess what? I didn't. I didn't. But Alan, you saw Secret Invasion finale. What's your final verdict on this season?
Yeah, no, this is the worst Disney Plus show they have. And look, we've already talked about the racial aspects of it. This whole show is just dumb and is ill-conceived, and I will tell you why. Look, the Secret Invasion in the comic books is something I remember. I'm sure a lot of you remember it. There was, the idea was basically half of your Marvel superheroes have been living on Earth as Skrulls, and no one knew it. And then all of a sudden, everyone who was replaced by Skrull shows up, and now they have to root out all who is the Skrull and things like that. This one, it's supposed to be based on that because there's some built-in tension there. In this one, look, half of the people on Earth, or millions of people on Earth, who you don't know and have never heard of, might be Skrulls, and this is how the entire series is based on it. There's no tension there. Oh, here's a character. Are they a Skrull or not? Who cares? There's, is that a person a Skrull? Who cares? They shapeshift, fine, but this show is an exercise in how to take an idea and not build upon it. The Marvel elements of it just weakened it by the end of it. There's just no reason to really care about it. Look, spoiler alert, but the whole idea was that they're going to create these super Skrulls. They're going to infuse them with the DNA of heroes. The main super Skrull, the main Skrull wants the harvest, which is the DNA of every single superhero that exists. And in the process, of course, that person gets infused along with Emilia Clarke's character, who and so now you have this battle between the super Skrulls who have been empowered by every Marvel superhero. That sounds cool on paper, but in execution, it just didn't work. And I'll tell you why. They saved their animation budget to the end, and this battle just looked horrible. And it just meant it became this kind of, hey, let's have Emilia Clarke show off every single power that all the superheroes have, and it just falls flat. And so again, who cares? Carlos Alfredo Lopez, Alan summed it up in the series real well. Who cares?
Well, what's going to be weird is when the Marvels comes out, and the Marvels connects to WandaVision because of the origin of Photon. The Marvels connects to the Captain Marvel movie because of Nick Fury, and to Secret Invasion, and the Marvels connects to Ms. Marvel, which is a show nobody watched. So you have all these pre-existing properties that in order to watch the Marvels and fully understand what's going on, you need to have seen all this past stuff. Someone suggested that I think it was one of the producers of the Arrow series on the CW said, Marvel just needs to do a hard reboot, just completely hard reboot the Marvel Cinematic Universe and just start fresh. You could even recast Iron Man and Captain America, start a new thing, as has been suggested many times, just go back to the 60s, do the Fantastic Four, the X-Men, and classic Avengers, and have it all set in the 60s. And you know what? Nobody cares. It's a new universe. It's a different Earth, or whatever you could just say. It doesn't matter. They have told the story of the Marvel Cinematic Universe here. Tell another story in a different part, and you're unburdened by all this stuff. The idea that there's continuity between all these things, what James Gunn is planning to do, is not a good idea. Turns out it's not a good idea. And I never liked this idea when it came to comic books. When it came to comic books, I didn't like this. I just wanted to read the 12 issues of Crisis on Infinite Earths. Okay, I just want to read those 12. There were so many connecting crossover in this comic, and you had to read this from Supergirl issue whatever. I don't want that. I want to read the 12 issues. Tell me a story in 12 issues.
Right. Well, this was the problem with Secret Invasion. It wasn't written by comic book people. You know,
Right.
and you can tell by the way they tried to build suspense, the way they tried to give us comic book moments, and it was clearly written by hacks. And
Right.
And you know, I'll say this: no one talks about it, but you know, early on when Marvel Studios was created, they had the Marvel Creative Committee, Joe Quesada, Brian Michael Bendis, you know, a whole bunch of other people, and they were kind of overseeing it until Kevin Feige finally kicked them off. But at least you had a committee there of comic book people overseeing the properties, and I have to believe that helped build the foundation that Marvel Studios had built in those first 3 phases. They got rid of it, and then they got rid of comic book people altogether. And this is what we've been getting consistently from Marvel.